Nestled among the foothills of Italy lies a sleepy European microstate. But it's about to get the wake-up call of all wake-up calls as the greatest gravity race on the planet rolls into town. 45 teams of doolally daredevils, incredible creations built to wow the crowd, and a short and snappy course with a medieval twist. Get ready for some continental chaos at the Red Bull SoapBox Race San Marino.
Buongiorno and welcome to San Marino.
Covering just 26 square miles, this is the world's 5th smallest country. It's also the world's oldest surviving republic. The Palazzo Pubblico behind us has been home to San Marino's government since the 1800s.
Now, a trip to San Marino would not be complete without trying the Torta Tremonte, their national sweet treat.
Part wafer, part hazelnut, 100% delicious.
Oh, let me try some of that.
Absolutely not. I'm saving that for later, it's mine. Sadly, one thing these Samarinese aren't quite so good at is football.
Yeah, the men's national team have been consistently ranked at the bottom of the FIFA World Rankings, 211th to be exact.
They do, however, hold the record for the fastest goal ever scored against England, smashed in 8 seconds by the legend Davide Galtieri.
Wait, so an epic sporting event that will be remembered for generations to come? That sounds a lot like the Red Bull SoapBox Race.
Yes, for the first time in its history, San Marino plays host to the greatest gravity race on Earth as the bold and the brave pit their homemade machines against this devilishly difficult course.
Yes, and it is worth mentioning that San Marino is entirely surrounded by Italy. So
yes,
a lot of teams have crossed the border to compete today. So we should expect a real injection of Italian flair.
I'm getting covered in Italian flair right now. So, who will be living La Dolce Vita and emerge the hero of San Marino? We're about to find out, but first, here's a quick guide to the Red Bull SoapBox Race!
Championing eccentricity since the year 2000, the Red Bull SoapBox Race sees amateur teams of friends, family and workmates racing their incredible homemade soapboxes down a course covered in obstacles, all with just gravity to power them.
Oh, he's gone! Oh, he's lost it there! Oh, spun it! Look at that!
Fun is always the order of the day, but this is a contest, and to decide the winner, each team is scored on 3 categories. Firstly, a panel of judges marks the creativity and craftsmanship of each soapbox.
Look at that! That is mighty impressive!
Then, points are given for a 20-second performance immediately before the run. And finally, those scores are merged with the total time taken to complete the course. Sorry, if they complete the course. Get more overall points than anyone else, and you've just earned yourself universal bragging rights as Red Bull SoapBox Race champions. There's just one thing standing in the way: the course itself.
Okay, so I am here on the start ramp of this incredible course. On one side, the Porta del Loco, the main gateway into this stunning city. And on the other, the breathtaking views over San Marino, a setting befitting of medieval jousting. But today, the horses are soapboxes, and the enemy is one of the most intense horses in the history of Red Bull SoapBox racing.
Galloping off the start ramp, and it is straight into the swashbuckling action with 2 kickers in quick succession. First up, our racers are probably going to be wishing that they were in a full suit of armour as they come speeding over these battlements before almost immediately laying siege to the drawbridge, challenging obstacles. And it's going to take all of our knights' bravery to make sure their soapbox campaigns aren't put to the sword before they really get going.
So, if they manage to breach the castle walls and make it over the gravel moat, it could be more Game of Moans than Game of Thrones. This chicane has more twists and turns than a season finale and could spell disaster for any soapbox with medieval braking systems.
Successfully negotiate the chicane, and it's a case of what goes up this seesaw must crash down. The question is, how hard. Timing's everything. If they stop completely, a gentle landing will cost them valuable seconds. But if they don't slow down enough, they could catapult themselves into Italy. Then it's one final bend before the finish line, where they are rewarded with a beautiful view and they can take their place as soapbox legends forever. Well, there she is, the Red Bull SoapBox Race San Marino 2022 course. She's looking good. How are you feeling about this, Becca?
Yeah, she looks intense, that is for sure. There's a few things. It starts off very narrow. We've seen many wide soapboxes, so that could be an issue. The seesaw is the one for me. I'm very excited about that. But just in general, the vibe here is electric. Everyone is excited. The DJ's pumping tunes. It's just like a big medieval party, isn't it?
That's exactly it. Well, look, we are excited about it. We are ready. The question is our commentator ready? Darren Fletcher, over to you.
Absolutely ready. Thanks, Becca. Thanks, Will. Very ready for this today. What an amazing location we've got here in San Marino in the shadow of the ancient city walls. The course is 350 metres, 6.5% average incline, weather perfect, crowds out in their thousands from both San Marino and from across the border in Italy. Party atmosphere today in the pits, and Space Monkey to start us off. Lorenzo, Federico, Matteo and Maurizio. They're from San Marino. It's a local team and it's inspired by the space shuttle, and they get 30 for performance. Don't forget, it's scored today on performance, on creativity and of course on speed. And the way it's going to go today, we've got a couple of kickers in quick succession, kicker one and kicker two, then there's a chicane and then there's a seesaw, and that could be interesting too. So there's the first two kickers, and we're starting to lose pieces of Space Monkey already. Look how tight that chicane is. Not great when you've got wings. We've got the seesaw to finish. Through we go. Oh, gone straight into the bales. You can see straight away that this is a narrow course. It's a quick course, but it's narrow, and you've got to make sure that you're in complete control of your soapbox, otherwise you're going to catch it like they did there. The wings on the side didn't help at all, and they've got straw bales everywhere. It was fine over the two kickers, that wasn't a problem. It was when the chicanes came, the course started to narrow, and then there was nowhere to go. You could see it there via the onboard shot. So next up, Greece 50. And the theme, of course, is Greece. Driver is Francesco, Massimo, Gianni, Andrea and Loris. And it's inspired by the 50th anniversary of the Greece movie. Great atmosphere today. Everybody really enjoying themselves. Off they go. Greece 50 on the move. Two kickers to start with, a chicane and a seesaw. And a relatively steep gradient as well. It is the kind of course where you can pick up plenty of speed. There's kicker one. Quickly onto kicker two, that's fine. Now let's see as it narrows off whether they can get through it. This chicane is going to catch people out today. Got to be really switched on through there, and here's the seesaw, which they treat like another kicker. And they sail over that, around the final bend, underneath the finish and the stop. And let's have a look at the time, 37.45. Really, really good run. In control all the way down. Sometimes we look at the Red Bull SoapBox Race and it can be the jumps that cause the problem. But today, I think it's going to be that narrow bit through the chicanes, whether you can get through there and keep the speed on. And there's the seesaw, which doesn't come down very much. You tend to take off quite high over that bit. So the next team, and I'm going to let you have a go at it because I'm not even going to try it. Antonio, Candido, Daniele and Emanuele. So this basically is a huge pasticciotto, I think that's how you say it, filled with custard. That's basically what, it gives you an idea of what it is. Look how narrow it gets just there. That's where the problem is. A lot of people here today enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the event. And there, perched precariously on the back, is our co-pilot. They will emerge from the gloom. over the first kicker. It's not very fast, this one, at the moment. Needs to pick up some speed. Needs to start getting going. But if they can, they've got a chance to make the mark, because in terms of design, it looks narrow enough to get through the tricky part of the chicane. There we go through there. Now we see it start to narrow off around the corner, and you've got to be switched on here to be on the right side of the track. Over the seesaw and down towards the finish. They've got this big left-hander to take, and then they can see the finish line. Oh, it's gone on the corner! So near yet so far. And they picked up speed, and they carried the speed into that final corner, forgot about making sure they got round it, and they come to grief within yards of the finish. They will eventually get across the line, but they had speed and they had the finish line in sight, and they couldn't keep it going, couldn't keep it upright. This is where it all comes to grief at the end. So near, and they couldn't quite get there.
Well, so far, the medieval city of San Marino has not disappointed. The action has been epic.
It has indeed. And the great news is we are just getting started. There is still so much more to come. So we'll see you after the break. Don't go anywhere, all right?
Hey, she said don't go any... Ah, yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Red Bull SoapBox Race here in San Marino, where the competition is in full swing.
Absolutely. If you like thrills, spills, crashes and chaos, then you've come to the right place. Darren, what have you got for us on the start ramp?
Well, I have Rivo Co Rivo, which is a yellow submarine inspired by the Beatles' yellow submarine. So if you can imagine the Fab Four in a soapbox, bright and colourful, that's what we have here today in San Marino. And the start ramp in all its glory, ready for our yellow submarine. Will it be fab, or won't it? Will it be a magical mystery tour? Will they make it all the way to the finish in one piece? It's a classic soapbox design, with the pram wheels and the wide axle and the suspension. And the back bit's gone. And the rest of it is still going. There's the rest of it, oh my word. This is where it comes to an end. Bang, straight into the bales. Sliced in half. They're going to try and get down to the bottom. It really is a day to enjoy. It's a party atmosphere, and all of these teams want to make sure that they do see the finish line in the end. It's amazing there's still so much of it left. Through the chicane, down towards the seesaw. Lands down with a bump and down towards the finish once they can get around this left-hander. That could have been so good, couldn't it? Forget about being on the leaderboard, it's all about getting to the finish, and that's where the back went. That's where we lost part of it, and then we get the little crash to follow up, but in actual fact, it was able to stay together quite well, and there we see the seesaw in all its glory as well.
Oh, get this guy off, he's so annoying.
Can you stop saying what the audience are actually thinking? I'm holding on to this job with the skin of my teeth, mate. This is good, though. When Soapbox meets Gogglebox, it's impressive.
Yeah, I've got to say, this is one of my favourites so far.
Yeah.
It just looks amazing, very slick, it's good fun. I've got to say, I'm a bit worried for whoever has to sit in this seat, because you will be going backwards, and imagine going over the seesaw and then landing. There's no seatbelt, terrifying.
Yeah, and then the person driving is going to be able to see the terror on their passenger's face the whole way round. And that terror is going to be quite pronounced because this has got joystick steering.
Ooh.
So Darren hates handlebar steering because he thinks that's a problem. Darren, this is next level. I'm worried and excited all at the same time.
All right, cool. Well, I've actually had enough of you now, so let's get you off. See you soon.
I need the work!
Oh, this one is ridiculous. It's interesting. It's inventive. And I'm fascinated. I agree. You're completely right. I don't like the kind of steering, the handlebar steer. I particularly dislike joystick steering, but let's have a look. Living Arcadia. Davide, Simone, Alberto and Paolo, an 80s console player. And it's one of the most remarkably designed soapboxes that I think I've ever seen. One facing forward, one facing backwards, steered by a joystick. Good luck. I don't want to be him. He's got no idea what's coming next. First thing he's going to encounter is the initial kicker, followed quickly by another one. And they're nice and slow over there, probably because he's got to steer it with a joystick, and he can't miss that. Can't miss the pails, and he got out the front in slow motion. You've got no chance to move it quickly. If you get offline at all, you're finished. Watch this. Slightly offline, only slightly offline, and you've got no chance to get it back again. 10 out of 10 for the idea, but to try and get that right to the bottom is going to be impossible. Slowly, slowly out you come. So now we have Ant-Attack, the Ant-Attack. Alessandro, Daniele, Fabiana and Silvia, a Lego-inspired soapbox. And they say they're a group of friends with an irrepressible desire to never grow up. Well, I've got news for you. You're in the right place today. The only concern I've got with this, and you'll see this, is it looks very frail. Look at it. Doesn't look like it's built for the rigours of a difficult soapbox course. 36 for performance. It looks a little bit precarious, though, for the driver, doesn't it? Very tentative towards the kicker. Oh, bits. Oh, it's gone. Front wheels have gone. That's it. Look at the size of the wheels underneath it. There's no way that was getting very far. Oh, they're devastated. Watch this. There's no way you can have wheels of that size taking that kind of weight from that kind of drop. It looked frail, it is frail, and it's over. So turn right to go left. Davide and Simone, driver and co-pilot. Elena and Marco, the rest of the team. And it's inspired by the Cars movie. They're passionate about Formula One, this team, so Lightning McQueen is the soapbox they've chosen. Now, they say they've got zero engineering knowledge, but they've got a lot of expertise in the theme of cars, so we'll see. And they've got the yellow smoke coming out the back, and they're off and running, and they're determined to enjoy it today. Bright pink, low centre of gravity over the kicker. The first smoke canister is jettisoned. Second kicker completed. Heading now towards the chicane. It's tight through here. They're smooth through there. Narrow here as well, and they've took a nice line through there, nice and tight on the inside, and there's the seesaw, and they're fine there too. And they're moving around this final left-hand turn. Hold it together under the finish. That's how you do it. And there are no bails on this course to stop you, so you've got to make sure you avoid the ambulance and the wall. But that's a good run. Turn right to go left, and they did very, very well. Really nicely done. There we see them over the final obstacle, the seesaw, and they took that superbly.
Well, this one's been waiting a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely the oldest soapbox I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, for something that is technically really simple, the design is so impressive.
Yeah.
Like, the creativity, 10 out of 10 marks for me.
Exactly, it's weirdly pleasing to the eye, and often simplicity is key when it comes to getting down the course quickly and efficiently.
For sure. I don't know. What do you think, Darren? Will they pass the finish line to rapturous applause?
Very good. Or are they just going to be dinosaur losers by the end?
Oh, very, very good. You're on form today, you two. T-Rex bull by Bottaccio 77. And I can warn you, there are teams coming up today in San Marino who I won't be even trying to pronounce the names. Mattia is the driver, Giacomo the co-pilot, David and Marco in the team as well. Very obvious this, the T-Rex dinosaur skeleton is the theme. So let's see what happens here. In general, it looks like a well-designed soapbox, although that wide axle at the front would cause me some level of concern. Lots of pieces to it. How many pieces are left on it by the time they get to the bottom, if they get there, remains to be seen. They're holding the tail over the kicker. So far, so good. Concentration etched on Mattia's face. The driver just about, oh no! Just caught the bail and over. It was just enough to flip it over. It's the merest of touches, only just caught the corner. Thought they were going to make it through. And then, as we often see, when they roll it back over, there's not a great deal left. Almost get through here. Watch this, just managing to catch that corner. And then the speed and momentum took it over. You'll see it better here. Only just glanced it and then over. Les Tests des Minions. Francesca, Nicola, Orietta and Chiara with a Minions-themed soapbox. 3 girls and a guy. They describe themselves as 4 not very serious people who do not very serious things, which kind of fits into the whole mood today in San Marino. The mood around the pits has been superb, and they're fully committed to this performance as well. OK then, the moment of truth has arrived. Can they be a rare team to actually get from top to bottom, which has not been easy today by any stretch of the imagination. Nice design to this. Low centre of gravity, chunky wheels, nice and strong. Looks like it could be quick. Also looks like it's narrow enough to make a bit of a mockery of the chicane. Nice and strong through there. Keeping the line well. Looks easy to steer this one. Second kicker, no problem. Let's see how this team handle the chicane, and they're quick through there. Good line. And around that corner too. This is where it narrows off, and you've got to keep your wits about you. Over the seesaw, that's fine. Got the left-hander to go. Easy for them. Oh, they've spun it! I was speaking too soon. I was just about to say easy for them, and it wasn't. And it's going to add to the tide. It was going to be fast. It was going to be right up there with anything we've seen today. And they probably cost themselves 10 seconds by just losing concentration on the very final bend. All the obstacles were fine, but it's that final corner. You just allow yourself to switch off. You think you've done all the hard work, and then bang, you find the bails. Here it is. Back end goes round. Too much speed into the corner, and they couldn't make the finish line.
This is a thing of beauty, this soapbox. What's your team name?
The name is the Car-ota.
Oh, because it's a carrot and it's a car-ot. Genius!
So good, I love it. This looks like it's going to be pretty speedy. I've got faith in you guys. Who's the driver here? Okay, nice.
How are you feeling?
Yes.
Yes!
Just yes. Yeah. So I heard that you guys have competed in Red Bull SoapBox Race before. How did it go?
It was in Rome. We have been second, so...
Second place. Okay.
Well, let's see if you can take first.
Yes.
Find out after the break. Hello and welcome back to the Red Bull SoapBox Race here in San Marino.
Yes, we've got teams lined up behind us. The energy is building and we are nearly ready for our next team. Darren, who have we got?
We have Car-ota Gag Garage. And this is pretty simple. It's a carrot with handlebars and Bugs Bunny. 2 of them are going to try and get it from the top of the course in San Marino down to the bottom. They describe themselves, this group, as passionate idiots. And they competed in the Red Bull SoapBox Race in Rome and came second. So they've got a bit of history of success, but they've got the handlebars, and you know I don't like those. So let's have a look then. Nice and streamlined. It could be quick, this one. And a big smile on the face of the driver, Mussolente. He's got Vicenza behind him. Christian, Luca, Stefano and Andrea making up the rest of the team. And they've got a bit of air over the second kicker, which was impressive. Now, is it going to be too wide to get through the chicane? No, just about. Squeeze through there. This is good. Picking up speed. Gets narrow here as well. Make sure you're switched on for that bit. No problem there with the seesaw. Can they get round this final turn? Final turn. Oh, they're under. That's really good. Really good. 38.98. We've seen quicker ones than that. Now they can't stop it. They're off to Italy. Someone get in the way. There we go. A little bit of a nod there on landing, but that was good. And it's one of the few times you see a soapbox with handlebars handled like that.
Now this one right here has got winner written all over it, I think. I mean, it's the first team to ever represent Sardinia. It's inspired by the Sardinian rooster. They've come a long way to get here.
Yes.
Now, it's just a work of art in general. So much attention to detail. They've even got this element, which is strictly for the performance part at the beginning, so they know how they are going to get their points.
Exactly. And then, of course, once the performance is done, it's all about speed down the track, and I think this is going to have it in spades. I mean, they've got brilliant suspension, they've got excellent-looking steering column, they've got pedal brakes, it's lightweight, it's well put together. I mean, we could be looking at a potential winner. What do you reckon, Darren?
Well, what could possibly go wrong? Galli. Christian is the driver, and Marco, the co-driver, Nicola and Andrea make up the rest of the team. They're from Sardinia, and they've decided on the chicken because they say, some might say chickens can't fly because they don't need to, so we decided to take this opportunity to teach a chicken how to fly. That's the kind of mood and the kind of thought process that people are going through in San Marino today, and this soapbox that's had the big build-up is off and running. 35 for the performance, it's great on creativity. Now it's all about getting down to the finish, quick and in one piece, and this has the potential to be, as the guys said, a winning team today. And they're through the first obstacle, the initial kicker. Here's the second kicker, and they're fine there. This bodes well. Christian in control at the moment, gliding through the chicane. Moving down towards the seesaw. Then it'll be the big sweeping corner to finish. No problem with the seesaw. This is the moment of truth. How much speed have they got? Round that left-hand bend and under the finish line, and let's have a look at it. 42.85. With good creativity, good performance score as well, and that's good all round for that team. You just wonder whether they're quite quick enough, but we'll find out. Big smiles on the faces of all of the team here. So Techno Bull Kart comes next. Gregorio is the driver, Danilo is the co-pilot, and it's a Techno DJ-themed soapbox. They're Techno fans, and they've created a huge speaker console complete with DJ, and imagined that it was being pulled by a bull. And in this perfect setting of San Marino today, they're going to be the next team to take to the start ramp and see if they can make a mark. It's not been an easy course to complete so far, has it, today? Lots of different problems on the way down. It's very tall, this one, the kind of soapbox that when it starts to wobble, it goes over, and the kind of steering system that can be an issue with handlebars, so everything, it seems, is stacked against them. Add to the fact they've got the single front wheel as well, and it's already starting to wobble. Second kicker coming up, and then they've got the chicane, and they're very slow. They can't even get over it. What's happened? Give them a push. Oh, it's stuck. It's got stuck. Can they keep... How on earth are they going to get this one round the chicane if they ever get there? I think the front wheels got stuck. God, drag it along. Whole team working here to try and get Techno Bull Kart down this course. The back wheels are starting to buckle. Look at the back wheels gone on the right. He's nearly tripped over. Oh, he's gone. The pilot's gone. They've worked so hard to put it together, but it's just not designed correctly for a course like this. So much stress on the soapboxes when they start going over the obstacles. What you tend to find, the teams test them on flat surfaces, and as soon as they go over the obstacles, they can't make it. They get to the finish anyway.
Becca, wherefore art thou, Becca?
Will, I've literally been standing there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw you there before, actually. It's weird. Hey, this could be one of the most creative soapboxes I've ever seen. What do you think?
It is absolutely stunning. And let's remember, a third of the marks today are on creativity, and how elaborate this is just blowing me away.
Yeah.
It looks like something out of a museum, doesn't it?
Yeah, true. Although, worryingly, I'm looking at the actual frame, the chassis, and that looks a bit like it's come out of a museum too. This is quite crudely welded and quite heavy. I mean, it looks great now. Is it going to look great by the time it gets to the finish line?
Let's wait and see.
Well, that's the big question. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name, but what I will tell you is the translation. We are like a balcony outside. Matteo, Eduardo, Damiano and Andrea, and they've basically recreated Juliet's famous balcony in Verona. There are potential design issues because it's so big, but it also is quite heavy. So if it starts to gain momentum, it can gain speed, and they've got a brilliant performance score of 40, and obviously brilliant creativity marks as well. So the first two bits, the box is ticked. It's now whether they can get this soapbox down to the bottom quickly enough. If they can, they're another team who could potentially win it today. The chicane could be the issue. If they get through there, I think they'll be all right. Kicker's no problem. Nor is the second kicker. So it's holding together well, despite the fact the back's come open. This is where they've got to be right. They've got to get the soapbox in exactly the right position. There's not a great deal of room for them, and they've done it brilliantly. Now then, is Juliet's balcony going to make it to the bottom? Seesaw next, then the big sweeping turn, and then the finish line. It's good. It's been really good up to now. They've just got to keep the speed on. They're trying to eke a little bit more speed out of it. Around this corner, they can see the finish line now. They're nearly there, under it. Let's have a look at the time. 102.07. That's the problem. Everything's gone well, but is that going to be fast enough in the final reckoning? It's one of the first times we've actually seen the seesaw go down on the other side because of how heavy that soapbox is. So here we have I Ragazzi del Cigno with a creativity score of 30. Leonardo is the driver. And the theme here is a swan. Let's have a look at the performance score. We're set. 34 for the performance. Three-wheel soapbox. Let's have a look. Handlebar steering. Nice and quick at the top. Here's the first kicker. All about the strength of it. Yep, fine over that one. Axle looks nice and strong at the back, albeit wide. Cruises over the second kicker with the smoke billowing out from behind. The Swan boys are doing well. Here's the chicane. No problem through there. Building speed all the time, heading down towards the seesaw. Crowd cheering them on in San Marino today. Wonderfully sunny day. Over the seesaw we go. Lands on the back wheel. Can they get round the big sweeping turn to finish? We can see the finish line now. He's almost there. There's the finish. Really, really good. Very good run all round. Well-designed soapbox. Handled the conditions, handled the course. Very, very good. Okay, so now we have Occhialini Rosa, Filippo, Andrea and Gregorio. The theme here is pink sunglasses. They're from Bologna. It's quite wide, this one. That would be the concern. And it's whether the wheels are going to hold up as well. So let's have a look. Performance score of 27, creativity 32. And with scores like that, you need a quick run. It's wide, though, this. This is going to be a problem, I think, through the chicane. Two sat side by side, handlebar steering, not the best in terms of what they've got to get through. Oh, they've hit that! There's the width, that's the problem. Give it a real whack on the way in. Too wide for the kicker, let alone the chicane, and they've got to redo the wheel. Look at the front, wheel's gone. Left side as you look. And I think that's put pay to any chance they got of winning today. Well, they're back on, and it's moving better than I thought it might. Look at the state of the wheel, the one on the left. Here's the chicane. Surely they can't get through there. Oh, they can. They've proved me wrong there. That's brilliant. How on earth is this soapbox still going as quick as it is in a straight line with that front left wheel in the state that it's in? Here's the seesaw. Over that, now they've got the big sweeping turn and they'll be at the finish, and they are going to get there. Didn't seem possible, did it, right at the very top? Here we go, around that final left-hand turn, under the finish line. It's all about the taking part today. That's been the attitude of all of the teams. This is where it went wrong. Gave it a right whack on the way in. "10 out of 10 for effort and 10 out of 10 for actually getting to the finish."
Well, you know what they say, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
True, and that is why these guys look absolutely terrified.
As well they should. Don't go anywhere, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more cracking action in just a minute. I'm sorry.
My dream, reach as big an audience as I can.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
I just heard the greatest voice of her generation.
I want to dance with somebody.
Schwarzkopf Oleo Intense. Rich, permanent colours with fair trade argan oil. Ammonia-free, shiny, healthy-looking hair. Professional grey coverage. Schwarzkopf Oleo Intense.
Hello, welcome back to the Red Bull SoapBox Race here in gorgeous San Marino. I mean, look at these views. Insane.
It's nice, but nothing is quite as beautiful as watching one of these crazy contraptions careering down the hillside, face first into a bale of hay. And I think we've got some more of that coming up. Darren?
Yes, we have. All set for the next team. A team that translates into what bubbles in a pot. And the theme is a cooking pot. Marco, Alex, Sasha and Maurizio. They describe themselves as a group of 4 wild people in their 20s who have always been lovers of mechanics, engines, prototypes and speed. They see it as a win today, the fact they're even here. So 29 for the performance, added to 30 for creativity. And again, you've got to say, small wheels, wide soapbox. Some of these teams never learn. Not the best of vantage points either, or views for the driver. If that starts to wobble, they might be blinded. Over the first kicker then, still in one piece at the moment. I'm a little bit concerned about those wheels. Still concerned about the wheels. Concerned about the view. Here's the chicane, that's a concern as well. Well, there's the roof gone, that helps. Coming down towards the seesaw, they've got further than I thought they might. Over the seesaw and down, oh, the wheel's gone. Front right as you look is bent underneath. Thought they were going to do it. It was strong enough for the 2 kickers, but not strong enough for this one. Watch the front right wheel, it's bent underneath, look, and that's where it's gone. So let's have a look at the next team then. Luca's going to be the driver. Damiano, Francesco, Filippo and another Luca. It's an asparagus dish, basically, this one. It's a traditional Italian dish which is white asparagus dipped in a sauce of hard-boiled eggs, for those of you out there who want to know what it is. A couple of 9s in there. There was a 4 and an 8. 30 for the performance, 32 for creativity. Moving towards the end of the day. It's interesting to look at, isn't it? Right. See whether they can get the speed at the top to carry them to a good position at the bottom. Over the kicker. Oh, 3 wheels, front one's gone. The front one's gone. Nose dive in, front one's gone, and you can't go any further with that. Here we go, look, front wheel, too much weight, bang. So this is the final team today. And it comprises of Nicola, Alberto, Gianpietro, Daniele and Davide. It's a chili sauce, basically. They're a team who love to party. They say they're full of spicy ideas, so let's see how they go today. They were saying in the pits before they think their suspension could be a key to their run today. The fact they've got a good suspension, they feel, is going to help them out a lot. They think it's going to make the soapbox easy to drive, and they think it's going to make a mockery of the obstacles as well. Here's the first test, and it bounces there over the kicker. Very, very easy. A lot of give in the middle. There we see it again. No problem. Looks nice and strong, nice and bouncy, nice and smooth. Through the chicane, they're starting to celebrate, need a good time. Little tight left and a right through there, moving down towards the seesaw. They're over the seesaw. They've now got to get around this sweeping left-hander, and they'll be at the finish, and this looks good, this one. Underneath we go. Let's have a look at the time, 44.7. They'll be happy with that. Razzo Tolomei has done very, very well there to finish things off in San Marino today. Very, very good, well designed, nice and strong, and it handled superbly. Well, that's been a really fun event in the most unique of locations. Will, who's taking home the prizes?
Wherefore art thou, Romeo? I hear you say, Darren. Well, he's over here in third place, actually, with team Siamo, fuori come un balcone. Hopelessly devoted to second place is Team Greece 50. But today, this magnificent fortified city has been conquered by a humble vegetable. Today's champions are Car-ota Gag Garage.
Well, I am joined by the winners of Red Bull SoapBox Race San Marino 2022. Car-ota. Oh my, bring this down here. Let's have a feel. Look at that. Hold this gun. Wow. Look at it. It's a beautiful trophy.
Yes, it's incredible. This is the best moment ever.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you did it before you came second in Rome, right?
Yes, we were second in Rome.
Second in Rome last time, and this time they came here to win, and they did it.
Yes, it's incredible.
So what was your secret? Why do you think you guys managed to take the win?
Team speed and construction of the machine, the chassis, everything is good.
Guys, listen, great performance, great run, fantastic win. Make some noise for yourselves. Car-ota are winners. Brilliant stuff. Love it. Well done. I want to touch that. And breathe. What a day of action we've had from probably one of the most beautiful locations we've ever held a Red Bull SoapBox Race. San Marino has not disappointed. How did you find it?
I mean, so much went down today. Yes. I don't know where to start, but I have to say, that space shuttle, I was not expecting it to just crash straight away. It didn't take off, man. I was disappointed.
It didn't take off, no, but it was spectacular nonetheless. But for me, I think the highlight, probably the Romeo and Juliet balcony. It just looked so good, and it just shows if you put that much passion and creativity into your soapbox and the performance, you don't need to get the fastest time to actually get amongst the medals, and that's what the Red Bull SoapBox Race is all about.
It really is. So we want to say a massive thank you to all of the teams who took part today. You were all amazing, and of course thank you to everybody at home watching. We will see you at the next one.
Take care.
Bye.